The Atlanta Fed just put out a new report saying home ownership affordability has fallen to a new record low. It has never been worse. Even lower than 2006, which was right before the subprime mortgage crisis that kicked off the global financial crisis. According to the Atlanta Fed, it currently takes 44% of pre-tax median household income to buy the median house. Note that's pre-tax. That's after Uncle Sam got their hunk, so you are left with less than half what you got paid. In some cities, it's actually a lot worse. In Boston, it's 50% of pre-tax. Miami is at 55%. New York is at 63%. And LA and San Francisco are hitting 84% of pre-tax income for the median house. That's almost 9/10 of what you earn. So good luck with groceries. You would literally have to eat the house. Sadly, they do not make gingerbread that big, so at this point it is only the rich who are buying and passing it on in rent. So what's driving it? Fundamentally, like so much of what's sending us over the cliff, federal spending, which drove up inflation, which then drove up house prices. The Fed's zero interest rate policies piled on top since houses get more expensive with the cheap mortgages that low rates bring. Sadly, at this point, those cheap mortgages are long gone. They're hitting roughly 8% now, but they left the prices behind since now sellers are locked in by those 8% mortgages, which means that home prices are stuck. They're not coming back down because nobody is selling. So they broke it, then they fixed it by breaking it some more. Finally, on top of those 8% mortgages and those $400,000 starter homes, property taxes and insurance are both growing like a cancer, adding thousands on top for homeowners. Now, property taxes rise in lockstep with your home price, so they've risen about 30% in the past couple of years, while home insurance is actually rising so fast that millions of Americans are literally skipping home insurance and praying for the best. Going naked in the industry lingo, and I talked about that in a recent video. Taken together, the prices, the mortgages, the taxes, and the insurance have nearly doubled the cost of owning a home in just 2.5 years. Of course, note that all of those costs get passed on even to low-income renters, meaning you cannot escape housing costs unless you either move back in with your parents or you live under a bridge, which in fact many Americans are currently doing. Meanwhile, on the other side of the ledger, wages are not keeping up with inflation, lagging almost 8% over the past 3 years. So housing costs doubled, but your salary only buys 92 cents. So what's next? Brought to you by Unchained. What's next is rates are stuck because of inflation and because of runaway deficits that are already making bond investors nervous. Stuck rates mean expensive mortgages, and that means stuck prices. Even if the Fed does cut rates for the new war, with inflation running hot, they can't cut very much. Meanwhile, incomes will take another beating once we hit the recession and jobs start to drop. So expect expensive housing, lower wages, and plenty of crowded underpasses. Okay, we'll be watching. See you next time.